I see.
Yes, I waited.
Okay.
I waited. But I thought, we'd go live and then.
Well, you always did like Mom Bear.
No, I really didn't actually. Hello, everybody. Chuck and Rod Baker. Sunday, Funday with Dad. And I realize you guys only get to see us together this short amount of time once a week. But to be real honest, every day is fun with you, Dad. Every day that I spend with you is fun. Okay.
Me too. You're waiting for me to.
Well, no, that's okay. You didn't have to affirm it. No, don't worry about it. Appreciate it, though. So, we're going to dive a little deeper today in something that that I think is beneficial to anybody and everybody who's willing to listen. If you have ears, hear. And what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the spiritual life. Now, in 15 minutes time, there's only so much we can talk about. So what I believe we should do is speak on our experience of entering into the spirit world, entering into the spirit life, having a spiritual experience. And you and I were talking last night about that, about the times that we've had spiritual experiences.
All night, wasn't it?
Don't show your age. Dad, well, as a matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and talk about this. I've always been an energetic person. And over the last couple of years, I've had to hold back on being energetic. There's times I've had to rest and heal.
When?
So Dad, of course, patiently has been watching me like a horse that's being held back by the reins.
By the bookies.
Yes, sir, by the bookies. So that's one of those things that I look at is a spiritual part of my life is my energy level. Our Dad likes to talk about the auras and his ability to discern from the aura, which is the spirit of. And so that's one of the things that we've come to realize together is we have been given revelation knowledge and spiritual discernment. And so us being able to have that allows us to have these spiritual experiences. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
What would you say, Dad, is one of your common spiritual experiences nowadays?
Common with who?
With you.
Oh. My spiritual enlightenment now is above the ethernet.
Ah.
Okay, I'm into the heavens.
Amen.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When I grew up, we had no spiritual conversation in our house. I didn't know there was a spirit. The first spiritual awakening I had was a book called Jonathan Livingston Seagull.
Right.
And that made me aware that there was something more than just life. There's something in a higher realm.
More than the natural.
More than the natural. Yeah. So that was my first awareness. And then I started a lifelong study of the Bible, which is all spirit. You can't understand the Bible unless you're spiritual minded.
At least spiritually aware.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's spiritual minded. If you're aware, you're spiritual minded.
Good point.
In that book, most popular book there ever was, it says that the things that are seen are made from things not seen.
Right.
So that's a spiritual transformation.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of spiritual, I waited tonight to tell you this. Did you know Earl joined AA?
Why are we talking about Earl, Dad?
Well, it just came to my mind.
Okay. No, I didn't know.
Talk about spirits.
I didn't know Earl did.
God said, "Be kind to the stranger in the land." He's stranger than anybody I know.
This is the truth.
Okay? But he joined AA, and he said he wasn't going to the meetings. He's going to drink under another name.
Is that right? How anonymous of him.
But anyway, the spirit, the things that are seen are made from things not seen. Now, everything that's seen is made from frequencies.
Look at that.
Our DNA has strands of sound waves threaded through it.
Mm-hmm.
The universe responds to the spoken word. God said, "Let there be light," and it was like, that's a spiritual thing. When you say something, that's a spiritual thing.
Affirmations. When people study affirmations, it's speaking them. Right.
So, unless you're spiritually aware, you can't be awakened. That's what awakened is becoming spiritually aware. Enlightenment is spiritual awareness in a heightened degree. And some people sit and meditate on that. My navel's ugly, so I never did that.
Your navel's ugly?
Yeah, I got an ugly navel.
Okay.
It's not an any or an outie, it's just a blah.
Thanks.
But some people meditate. Some people listen to frequency music. Some people do all kinds of ways
Affirmations.
to get into the spiritual realm.
Nature. Mm-hmm.
But once we leave this physical realm, it's all going to be spirit. Everything's spirit. In the beginning, when God said, "Let's make man in our image," God's a man, so a spirit. So he's going to make man a spirit.
And I understand that part. Mm-hmm. The thing that I'm really wanting to stay focused on is our experience with the spirit world, our experience with the spiritual life. Not so much the spirit world. I don't want it to seem like, but us focusing on how our life is spiritual, and thus it manifests itself in the physical. And you and I were talking about today some of the spiritual battles that I have had and look forward to, because we know that I do look forward to those things, and how I picture them in the physical only because it's not imaginable in the spiritual.
There's no reference point.
There's not.
Right.
And so I have to picture those things in my imagination on a physical level, even when the spirit of whatever spirit it is, spirit of fear, if that battle's going to be with the spirit of fear, then I have to picture that spirit and what it looks like in that person that I'm dealing with, them having the spirit of fear. Does that make sense?
Well, you can't see the spirit of fear, so you have to put a face to it.
Absolutely.
Okay, you know what it is, but it's just a haze until you put a face to it. And you say, well, this person is being motivated by a spirit of fear.
Yes, it's a principality. It's a power, So I find myself, as I deal with the spirit of all things, I connect it to a physical connotation of physical subject matter, so that I can picture what that spiritual, whether it's a confrontation or whether it's a encouragement, where I'm able to be peaceful or patient or sound-minded in that situation. That's where I see the benefit of the physical life myself, Dad. Is it being able to allow us to move in the spiritual life and that physical life is what teaches us to do that, is what I've come to realize. I had to picture myself clean and sober before I was ever clean and sober.
Yeah.
So I had to picture what it looked like physically so that the spiritual part of it could manifest itself.
Well, really, the world does not recognize the spiritual forces that drive it.
I agree with that.
And,
though we are becoming more aware.
Well, there's a general awareness sweeping across the nation.
Yes.
Just give you an example, Charlie Kirk.
Right.
Okay,
Good example too.
the guy who shot Charlie Kirk, in my opinion, was driven by a spirit.
Okay.
That wasn't that kid.
Right.
Some spirit influenced him.
Animosity, hatred, whatever it was.
Yes, jealousy.
Yeah. Envy. Yeah.
Could be any kind of spirit, but it's a dark spirit that influenced him.
Right.
These kids, mass murderers, they go in school, shoot up schools. There's a spirit. A lot of them hear voices. That's a spirit talking to them.
Right.
We don't recognize in the penal system. They don't recognize the spirit at all.
That's true.
Okay, so you can't battle in the spirit unless you recognize the spirit.
The awareness, like you said before.
It's like in the program. You can't start the program until you recognize you have a higher power.
Yes.
That's your very first step. You got a higher power. Well, that's a spiritual force.
Well, the first step is that I'm not the higher power, that I'm powerless. That's the first step.
But you have
Yeah,
to
the second
admit,
step is.
you have to admit you can't do it. The higher power has to do it for you.
Absolutely.
So you admit there's a spiritual force.
Yes, absolutely.
And so the spiritual force is in everything. Everything seen is made from things not seen. So the spiritual forces actually control. It's like there's a one spirit that's like the wind. What's it called? The wind that controls the weather.
Oh, well, I was going to say barometric pressure, but I'm thinking about fishing. No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Do you?
Oh yeah, I forgot y'all were there.
But there's
The airflow, the air masses.
Yeah.
Yeah, the jet stream.
jet stream.
There
That's
it
what
is.
I'm trying to think of.
Yes.
It's a jet that had me bogged down.
You were in those
I'm familiar with
streams. Right.
But the jet stream, it determines what the weather is.
Right.
Well, there's a superior spirit that controls all the other events.
Right.
Okay. Once we recognize that, we can get in step with it.
I agree.
We can synchronize with it. We can dial up the website, as it were.
We can test it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I look at the whole thing as, let's say, the spirit is like the internet.
Good example.
Okay. And there's different websites on the internet you can go to if you know the address.
Yes.
Okay. And so meditation helps you get the address, so you can go to those different websites
Right.
and get the information you need, or the assistance you need, the help, whatever you need is in there already.
Well, and now it's funny because some people look at AI as the Archangel Michael, and some look at it as Baal.
Yeah. Well, it's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
It's both. Yeah, that's a
both.
good point. Good
Yeah.
point.
So, but spiritual awareness is I think being exposed now. It's we're being exposed to it.
There's a lot of people now talking about evil. Evil is showing itself.
Yeah.
The truth is, evil's always shown itself. However, we have a new eye for it. There is more of an identification. People are speaking on it. Us talking about the frequencies of speaking.
Yeah.
And so when people talk about that evil, people are resonating with that. You know, when Tucker Carlson or whomever's talking about evil, there's a resignation with it. We're understanding that this is part of what's happening.
Now, in the spiritual realm, Charlie Kirk. Did you tell me there was, when he got shot, there was 14,000,
No, there was 2,000.
2,000 chapters
Uh-huh.
of his group,
Turning point.
Turning Point.
Right.
What did it grow to?
84,000 so far.
That's the spirit of Charlie Kirk.
Amen.
That's his spirit. The force of his spirit
Yes.
is doing that.
The power of
The
it. Yes.
power of
Yeah.
it. Okay? So, spiritually, Charlie Kirk's still with us.
Oh, amen.
Okay?
Yeah. Probably more so now than he was in the physical.
Yeah. Well, he's had more exposure.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of people know about Charlie Kirk today that didn't last week or week before.
Exactly. And they're knowing the truth about him.
Yeah.
You know, his true soul.
Now you have what we call the spirit of the law. They put up a stop sign for safety. That's
Right.
the spirit of the law.
Right.
Well, you have to obey the letter of the law also. You can't just obey the spirit. You have to obey the letter too.
You do, or you get a ticket.
Yeah.
Now, how many times have we gone through the stop sign and didn't get caught because we did not obey the literalacy of the law?
And we didn't see a red and blue light. Yeah, I'm looking, and that's not. We'll go through that.
I'd like to give a shout out to Officer Batman for for pardoning me the other night when my foot slipped off the brake. So thank you, Officer Batman.
Oh, you use that excuse again. The old foot slipped off the brake story. Okay.
Just throw me under the bus. Anyway, thank you.
I didn't mean to say that.
No, it's all right. It's all right. So I see what you mean about the spirit of the law.
Yeah.
Now, those of us that have come to where we are in our spiritual awareness, there is no law.
That's true.
There is no
That's
law
right.
to it.
No.
The law is what got us to understanding of the safety of the four-way stop.
Yes.
The law got us to where now, even if there wasn't a stop sign there, we would still yield and see if there's anything coming.
And in the spirit of the law, we are aware at the stop sign, we don't have to stop,
Right.
but we're aware that whether we should or not.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the law got us to that place
Yes.
of being aware.
Yeah, I think they charge you $495 now for running a stop sign.
Do you realize what we just did? We just came to understand how the law got us to the awareness of it,
Yeah.
of the spirit of what is, you know.
Well, I understand in the book I read that was the purpose of the law, is to teach us. What's that?
You mean you already knew this?
Well, I read it somewhere.
Thanks for telling me now.
Well, you didn't ask before.
Obviously, I didn't. Another thing I wanted to talk about, how we doing on time? You mind us going a few more minutes?
No.
Okay, I appreciate it. So another aspect of the spiritual life is the continuation of testing ourselves, showing ourselves. When we go to college, it's different than high school. Agreed?
Good.
Principles are somewhat of the same. You're there to learn.
In high school, they make you go. In college, you got to go yourself.
Yeah, you got to want to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to get up out of there. Nobody comes in and get up. You know?
So I can see that as going from the instinctual and natural way of thinking to the spiritual way of thinking, or even the going from religious to spiritual, because in the religious, there is condemnation in there. There's condemnation in the law. Well, once you get to the spirit of it, where the law has been fulfilled, thus you're not living by the law anymore. You're living in the spirit now, in that spirit life. So you have nothing but freedom. But that freedom is the freedom to live in those principles of love, peace, patience, kindness.
I'll give you an example. If you're at work and one of your co-employees comes in, he may have been up all night with a sick baby. He might be feeling sick. They might be repossessing his car. He might have 101 problems.
Okay. At least 99.
And as you interact with him, you take it personal. The way he's acting,
Ah,
you take it personal.
right.
It's not personal. It's the spirit that's influencing him. He's not himself, really. Is
Right.
what it amounts to. So instead of taking it personal, look at the spirit of that. Consider what could be driving him, impulsing him to act like that.
Which is where the communication is, the
Yeah.
spoken word is, the tapping into that frequency.
So instead of getting offended
Yes.
that he's acting strange with you, he's just acting strange.
Exactly.
It's not you.
Yeah.
If you recognize spiritual forces.
I see that. That is an advantage of those of us that live in the spiritual life.
Yes. Number one, it keeps your relationships clean. You don't have a lot of clutter.
Right.
And number two, it gives you freedom. You're free from resentment. You're free from doubt. You're free from all that stuff.
Fear,
Yes.
insecurities.
And that's the liberty that's unpurchasable.
That is the freedom. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, Dad.
And so
Well
The
said.
spiritual life gives you freedom.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And I must say, being someone who's not only gone through the conversion of that, but watched others go through the conversion of that, freedom is an adjustment. It's an adjustment. You know, there's, again, going from high school to college, there's an adjustment there. And so, you know, talking to others about it helps with the adjustment.
The problem with freedom is you have to make your own boundaries. You have to make your own boundaries. There's no other boundaries with freedom. You make your own.
No, nobody's doing it for you.
Yeah. And there's no guidelines you can use except your own conscience.
Yes.
And these set your boundaries.
Because to each man is his own life.
Exactly.
Yeah, there it is.
So, and once you become spiritually aware and realize that, then life is much easier
Amen.
because you're dealing with reality.
Well, it's comfortable. It's as if we are comforted in the spiritual life. So, well, we went on a little long. You all right with that?
I'm ready for a nap. Earl!
Dad,
Go
no.
to a meeting.
No, Dad, no. We can't involve Earl in this.
Go to a meeting.
You know what I think of Earl?
Good night. God bless you.
Hey, we